What is going on, everyone? Thank you so much for joining me today for episode number 22 of the Car 5 podcast. I'm your host, Joshua, and today we're going to be talking about Ferrari and their brand new car. That's right. They have a replacement for the 488, and it is called the F8 Tributo. Let's go ahead and get right into it. So starting right off, is the F8 Tributo actually a replacement for the 488 GTB? Yes, it is. Tributo, actually translating to tribute in English, is the upcoming replacement for the 488 GTB Ferrari, which had actually previously replaced the absolutely beloved 458 Italia. The F8 Tributo is actually meant to pay a direct form of what Ferrari is calling homage to their previous mid-engine V8 Ferraris. So because it's meant to pay homage, what's different about it? What's it all about? Well, the F8 Tributo upon first glance may just seem kind of like a facelift for the 488, though I can promise you it's a little bit more than that. The F8 Tributo is meant to bring things from the past to the present with kind of, we'll say, more of a modern era twist, if you will. You'll notice that actually on the rear of the car, the F8 Tributo is going to feature dual taillights totaling 4 compared to the 488, in which there's only 2. We can notice this not only from the 458, but from previous Ferrari models as well. The rear window of the F8 Tributo will actually be that of an F40, which is pretty awesome. That's going to mean that it's featuring a louver type window for not only looks, but it's going to be air cooling as well for the engine. The front headlights will have an added intake at the top for ventilation to aid in cooling of the brakes. Finally, the front of the hood will feature a duct opening type system, just like that of the 488 Pista for overall downforce. So when we take a closer look, it's actually quite different. A lot of different things about it compared to the 488. It's pretty cool because when you see past ideas from other Ferrari models being implemented into the brand new F8 Tributo, that's not something you really see very often. You'll see car manufacturers give some other designs from previous cars and implement them in their new cars, but actually taking bits and pieces and ideas from several cars and morphing them into the one, that's pretty cool in my opinion. Now, moving on, what about the engine? Well, the F8 Tributo will be equipped with the same 3.9-liter twin-turbocharged V8 that was in the 488 Pista. This means that the F8 will have 710 horsepower and 568 foot-pounds of torque. That means your 0 to 60 is going to be boasted at 2.9 seconds, and your top speed is going to be achieved at 211 miles per hour. So that's pretty dang fast. This is definitely not your downgrade. In fact, it's a huge upgrade, even though it is going to be featuring the same engine. You're not going to be sacrificing any performance. Plus, you're going to be pretty cool looking. As far as the interior is concerned, Ferrari has stated, and I'm actually going to read a quote here, every element of the dash, door panels, and tunnel has been redesigned, and you will also find new round air vents and a 7-inch touchscreen. That's a quote directly from Ferrari. So all in all, you're getting some pretty good changes to the new upcoming 488 replacement, not only exterior-wise, but interior-wise as well. Going to be a little bit more luxurious and some upgraded technology. And when will production begin? I personally have not seen any facts or statements or quotes or anything as of yet in regards to when production will actually start, but I would like to believe it will be rather soon because they did announce it, maybe the end of the year, beginning of next year, 2019, 2020. I mean, no matter what your opinion is of Ferrari, I know there are some pretty vulgar ones out there. Their cars do look really, really nice. And what I'm glad to see about Ferrari is I feel like their production game is getting better in the fact that now the F8 Tributo and the 488 Pista, they're cars that can actually compete. I mean, for a little while, Ferrari was doing their own thing and they were making some great cars, but from every standpoint, at least in my opinion and my knowledge, they weren't really doing much in terms of being like a competition to anybody else. Even in F1, they weren't doing a lot of things. Their production cars weren't really doing much, except for the F12. That was, that's a whole different animal. But I think the F8 Tributo is going to project them back into the competition with McLaren, with Lamborghini. Again, that's just me, and that's just my opinion. But hey, We're here to talk about cars, so all opinions and comments are welcome. So, ladies and gentlemen, that actually concludes episode number 22 for the Car 5 podcast and the F8 Tributo. Do not forget to follow us on Instagram, which is the Car 5 podcast. Don't forget to like us on Facebook, which is the Car 5 podcast. Also, don't forget, now you can also check out our YouTube channel, which is the Car 5 podcast, unless you're already listening to it right now. For any questions you may have, please feel free to send me an email, which is info@car5podcast.com. Tune in April 17th for episode number 23, in which we will be having a special extended episode, and it is the first ever video recording for the Car 5 podcast. So I'm going to be doing a video explaining all the equipment I'm using and the editing and the Car 5 podcast, monthly giveaways, a whole bunch of stuff. So please be sure to tune into that. Absolutely be sure to tune into that one, guys. And thank you so much. And please remember to drive safe. Thank you.